Hey, this is Shiraz, and before we get started, I just want to let you know that when I clear something for someone, when I cause a shift, I tend to yawn and cough from the energetic shift that happens. I don't know why it happens. It's just how my body works. And if you don't know that, you're going to listen to this video and go, what the hell is wrong with this guy? You might still think that, but now there's more of an explanation. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you hear something that you can absolutely relate to, when I cleared for them, you can get it cleared for you too. Just say yes when they're saying yes, and it works. I have people that watch these videos every morning to get stuff cleared. This can be your new morning habit too. Okay, that's enough for that. Let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a great shift out of it. See you soon.
Okay, so your little chat kind of hit me because I had a great weekend. I got back. I was a little nervous, but I got back on my paddle board and did a little bit of that. It was windy, so I didn't do too much, and I did my kayaking. So in my happy place again. But I came home, and this morning I thought, oh, I should do a workout. So I did my weights, and I somehow tweaked my upper back, which I'm still, like, I have scoliosis, so I'm still working on, like, I fixed my lower back, but I'm still working on my upper back. Now I'm like, so why would I possibly I'm trying to integrate with your story as to, you had arthritis for a reason, and I'm trying to figure out like what would be my reason for tweaking my back, because something I definitely don't want to be doing, especially now that it's beautiful out and I want to get back on the water more.
Okay, there's something in there. Do you want to get back on the water more?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
My favorite place.
Okay. Are you wasting too much time?
Like when I'm on the water, or?
Yeah. Well, just when you're not working, are you wasting time?
Well, yeah, I have felt like I haven't been as productive lately, so I do feel like I'm wasting time, definitely.
So when you tweak your muscles, do you stop doing the fun stuff and just work?
Not really, because I'm not really as productive even at work if I'm in agony.
Okay. So what does this keep you from doing?
Well, it makes it a little harder to walk the dog and get my steps in, which is something I want to do. It just keeps me from really doing my workouts, which is something I really enjoy. So.
Okay, so there's some pushback on that. Yeah, because being on the paddleboard was like, walking the dog was like, but the workout wasn't so much.
Sorry that I didn't want to do the workout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just throw the weights in like once or twice. Well, generally more like once a week, because I think I should be doing it more than, not my favorite, but I think it helps to build your endurance or whatever. So
It can, but here's the thing. When you're in I should, you're in judgment of yourself. Right? If this is a case of going from I have to do this to I get to do this. Right? I should, I have to, it's all heavy energy. There's resistance in there. You will try to find ways to stop yourself from doing it. I get to do it.
I don't think I mean, I don't mind doing it. I kind of like exercise. So
Yep.
it's just, if I, like if I don't feel up to it, I don't do it. I haven't done it in a bit, but I think if anything, it builds for the other one. So it's not really a should as in I'm forced to, because I just do whatever I feel like doing, but it's a should in that I think it'll strengthen my body. So, I think it would be useful. Maybe it's not It's definitely not like a requirement per se. I
See,
don't
again,
know.
that's not completely true. There is a resistance there on using the weights.
Really? Well, it
Yeah.
is called resistance training, so
It's
could that
literally called resistance training. So the
interesting?
one thing I remember when one of my coaches told me, he said the exercise that you want to do is the one you want to do even if it wasn't part of your exercise regimen, right? So if you love dancing, make that your exercise. If you love paddleboarding, make that your exercise. Right?
Yeah,
But if you're doing these things, well, I should do this. That's things that you're going to put greater resistance into not doing or to doing greater resistance to doing, and you'll find ways to get out of it.
okay.
Right. So, what would you love to do as far as exercise?
Kayaking and paddleboarding, but
Okay.
when I'm in the city, I can't do that, right?
Okay.
I don't mind. I also enjoy going for walks, but like even when I walk the dog today, she's like, it's getting hot, so she just wants to lie down with her stick, which I find extremely annoying. But
You
um,
allowed to walk without the dog.
yeah, well, that's what I said. If she's gonna keep doing that, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Do you
So
feel guilty if you go for a walk without the dog?
I do.
Yeah. I used to. I know the feeling. So, right. And that's the thing. You have to get out of the guilt of walking without the dog.
Yeah,
It feels like you're trying to compensate by doing other things locally, like in the house, so that you don't feel guilty about walking without the dog. What you really want to do is just be out there and walking and moving your body in bigger ways.
right.
And so the weird thing is you're creating ways not to move your body because you're not moving your body in the ways you want to move your body. And that's where you're having these issues.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, I
weird how
also
our
love to
brains work.
dance, so I could also do dancing, I guess. But
Oh, I dance every time I
ironically,
cook
it's
breakfast.
when I was dancing, I was doing the figure eight thing and I tweaked my back a little and I kept going. And that's how I injured myself in the upper body the first time, even though I love to dance. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
If you get hurt, do you have to push through it?
I used to, but now I don't anymore, which is really weird because I didn't even like, I'm trying to think, when did I hurt myself? Like I don't even know exactly when I hurt myself because if I hurt myself, I'll stop.
Mhm.
Because I did push through that one time. It was New Year's Day, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in shape. And crazy, I put on one of these crazy sports bras where you have to kind of maneuver, it doesn't open in the back. And I'm like, and I pulled something and I kept going. And now I've learned, like, you know what, if I'm out of alignment, I just don't work out. But I felt fine this morning. Like, I can't even remember when it happened. Like, it's almost like it happened after the fact. It's just bizarre. Which is
Right.
the same thing as when I went for my mammogram. Like, I'm in great shape paddleboarding and then just moved the wrong way and boom, like, I
So
don't know.
do the injuries tend to come up after the fact? So you don't know what caused them?
Well, the mammogram was, yeah, when I was sleeping. I was fine when I was there, and then I was sleeping, and the next morning I couldn't lift my arms. So I have a bit of a negative thing to organized medicine or pharma
Mhm.
legal drug pushers or whatever. But so I don't know whether that's the resistance there, but yeah, I just that's when my last injury was my mammogram. Well, this one today, and then my mammogram, and then I know the one before that where I hurt my neck was when I was getting audited, and I had to go and pull out my tax receipts. Well, that was just a major stress where you're looking down all the time, and that stress, that was the audit. I know that one, but
Okay. So first, I want to clear before we go on to that. Are you willing to step out of the story that you should feel guilty whenever you walk without your dog?
definitely.
The other thing is, are you trying to find ways not to use Western medicine? Western, well, not, yeah, Western medicine, drugs. The the legal pushers. Are you trying to find ways not to use them?
Well, I try not to use them, but like after, I did my exercises and I was still sore. So I just took a Robaxacet. So if I need to, I'll take it because I know it's going to help me in the long run just to relax the muscles now. But yeah, I'll always go natural first. I put some THC and muscle like on it also, right? So
I get that. Are you trying to find ways not to use them?
not to use anything or not to
Not
use
to
the
use
medical?
the medical stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I am trying to do my exercises to avoid like chiropractic so I can kind of self-manage. I don't want to have to always go to someone else.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's the away from motivation can be the cause of what's happening. So when you're trying to avoid the Western medicine, the taking of the drugs, then that doesn't mean you stay healthy. It means you put yourself in a situation where you have a choice between using those drugs or using the natural drugs. And then you can say, no, I'm not going to use those drugs. But you have to create the injury so you have the choice, so you can show you're avoiding it and not using it. So the injuries have to keep coming up every now and then to give you that opportunity to not use the Western stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but when my back's really bad, I have to use that stuff. The other stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, but the energy when you talk about it is I don't want to use that. I have to make sure I want to use the natural stuff. Right. And it's there's that push energy. I have to show that I don't like this, I don't want this. But the only way you can show you don't want it is to cause it and then have that choice. Am I going to do it or not?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to show that, yeah, there it is. Oh, that's really coming up. Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to show that you'd rather do the natural thing than do the Western thing?
Definitely, yes.
Ooh. There's a lot of energy on that.
Really, eh? Wow.
I am sweating right now. I just started sweating from that clearing.
Wow, that's interesting.
Okay, how does that feel?
You know what? It's bringing up a thing because my mother is, I wonder if it has something to do with my mother, who is just like, I love my mother to death, but she's almost, well, both my parents are like hypochondriacs where they're always at the doctor's like every day on every drug and, gone and got every vaccine. And now she's getting like all these exploding blood vessels in her legs and nobody can figure out why. And I'm like, do you think maybe it's it could be the vaccine? And she's like, oh, absolutely not. It can't be that. And do you know what I mean? And they finally referred her doctor finally referred her for cannabis instead of one of the drugs, I guess she's on for pain. And she's like, well, I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing. Like she's completely the opposite. So maybe that's why do you feel any energy there that I'm kind of like,
that's coming up as true. So are you trying to make sure you're not like your mom?
In some ways, definitely, yes.
Okay. So are you willing?
And my dad.
And your dad. Okay.
Hypochondriacs, yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure you're not like your parents?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that felt like a lot of it too.
Yeah. And for people that didn't may not have quite got that, when I'm telling her to stop not being like her parents, I'm not saying now become a hypochondriac like her parents. I'm saying you put your energy into not doing something. You're not putting any energy into being you. You're just putting energy into not being that thing. And when you stop trying not to be that thing, you don't suddenly become that thing. You just now, okay, I don't have to do that. It's like pushing up against the wall to make sure the wall doesn't fall. If you stop pushing up against the wall doesn't fall. You just stop pushing the wall, and now you can just go and hang out in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you feeling?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like, and if you had a shift of your own, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Also, check out the description for energetic magic events that you can attend every single month. Be well, be aware, and be magical.